Well, here we go. Can I just say top of the league? How does it make you feel, Aaron? Top of the
Brilliant,
league.
mate. Absolutely brilliant. Buzzing.
Not
So,
not second, not third, not catch up. Numero uno. I'm so chilled out. So chilled out, mate. So chilled out. How you keeping anyway? I know for a
no,
fact that you had a nice wee weekend, better than I had. How you keeping?
not too bad, mate. And as I say, I was just telling you there,
Yeah,
what do you call that? I was actually at the game yesterday. Absolutely
I
brilliant
know.
atmosphere. You know,
I know.
up in the East
You
Stand
asked me to
upper.
go, and I
You
said no.
Mate, you missed
You
out.
asked me
So
to
you
go, and
did.
I said
You
I'll
missed.
put my I'll put my wife's feelings in front, and I'll
You
stay
missed
home.
out. The last. There.
No,
The
I
bit.
had a
What do
chance
you
to
call
stay home with
the?
the wife or go to football with you, and I picked her. I'm stupid.
On being top as well.
Go ahead. I know, mate. Tell
Unbelievable.
me how was the game? You were there. What happened? Talk me through it.
So, like, it was sort of nervy, sort of scrappy start. Got into the ground, obviously about
Mm,
2:30. It was sort of scrappy start, both teams trying to work each other out. And then obviously just, the Nanto just, basically
on
calmed
goal,
everybody
wasn't it?
down. So he
Some
did. But
I wasn't nervous one bit. I've got to the point now with Leeds where it's just I'm so chilled out now. It's like we got this. We really do. Like I didn't think at any point that we were gonna go behind every single game I watch Leeds now. I'm really going into it going, this is relaxing. I still can't get round it that I'm a Leeds fan going, this is so easy. Is the championship that shit? Are we that good or a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's we're good, and we know
Mm,
we're playing teams off the park, but at the same time, a lot of the teams in and around, especially down that bottom end. If you look at the bottom end and you see the relegation zone, you see a lot of teams,
mhm.
joined together. One win can take you up from like 22nd to like 13th in the league.
It's
So it
very
can,
tight.
but aye,
There's a big gap between we'll put Southampton in the top four teams, and then there's a gap in the playoffs. They're all close together, and then there's a then there's a gap to the bottom, and then they're all so it's like we sections in the league, isn't it? It's mad.
yeah.
It's I'm loving it. I don't want to go back in the Premier League. I've said this a few times. I know we have to get into the Premier League, but I'm loving the Championship football. It's just cutthroat football. I really do.
No
What
VAR
we'll
as
do.
well.
No VAR. Oh my
You have to
God!
bring it up
Please,
every
for the love of
time, but
God. I despise VAR. I really do. I mean, even yesterday the game, the ref was absolutely, I don't know, say garbage. Will we say garbage yesterday in that game? And I still prefer how the ref performed over VAR. I would still prefer that 100%. Just let the referee do his job, even though he was shit, but still let him do it. Um, we'll get into the game. Started off a bit scrappy, bit nervous.
yeah, bit
You
scrappy,
think
bit
so?
nervous, but once we got there were a couple of chances, and it was all down
Aye,
the left hand side. It was Somerville, Furbo, not or what
yeah.
do you call him, Rudder, causing a few problems, and then
Well, they always
just
do.
hit the side netting, a few,
Hmm.
like one of the times anyway. But
Here,
no, it was
what? Go ahead. Sorry.
no. I'm just saying it was sort of a wee bit scrappy at the start, but once we got going, passing it about, moving it about, it
Yeah,
was.
I give a shout out because the last couple of games have been very negative on Firpo, but I thought Firpo was absolutely class. Him and Somerville down that left side were just constantly overlapping each other, playing it through. Somerville was tapping it all. I don't think I've ever seen a game Somerville pass as much in my life, just straight through to Firpo to whack it into the area. I love what Firpo was doing. He was just hitting it low and hard, and Millwall were struggling
Yeah.
to defend that kind of cross. It was brilliant to watch. I think they got very lucky in a couple of the deflections for those crosses where it could have went anywhere really. Even the one the keeper saved if it came up and the keeper had to jump and tap it over just over the
Yeah.
crossbar and over. I thought that was fantastic too. Really, really well played from Firpo. Like
Yeah.
I
No,
hate to admit it, but he did. He
100%
played
agree with
well.
you there. It's probably one of his better games, like, and you didn't
Definitely.
really see him too much, get sort of isolated. He was more sort of calm, imposed on the ball, and his passing was actually going to the players yesterday. It wasn't hoofball or up in the air or just
It was
clearing
brilliant.
it there. He lost,
It, it was
so it
brilliant to
wasn't.
watch. We're on to Firpo and Somerville there. What was your thoughts on Somerville? Now, he didn't score, but that was Somerville of old, maybe.
Yeah, there's a wee bit of trickery from him,
Mm,
down obviously the left hand side, and he cut in. He cut in for the first half. Bent it into the far corner, and the keeper. You just seen the keeper's hand just pop out. He just tipped it
no,
wide.
absolutely. I
But
thought Somerville was brilliant. I thought what he was doing was right. He was making sometimes Somerville, because he's a top goal scorer and he's battering him in when it matters. You can't really turn around and go stop doing that because you can't.
aye,
But I think last couple of games he hasn't been scoring as much goals, so as a Leeds fans, we're all fickle as always, but I generally thought yesterday's game, he played it really, really well. Passed when he
yeah,
needed to, took the extra touch when he needed to, shot when he needed to. That save from the keeper was fantastic because that was in
yeah,
the back of the net. Like, that was a great shot. I honestly thought Somerville was, bar not getting the goal, he was definitely back to his best, I think. 100% in that. And I thought he was
yeah,
really, really, really done well. Um, I don't think anytime in that game, I was worried. Even when we started off the game slowly, I just did not think they were going to score. I didn't think they were going to pressure us. I didn't think they were going to put us under. I thought it was Leeds like in the second gear and going, well, we'll go into third gear if we need it, but we just don't need to.
yeah.
That was my thoughts behind it.
There was one spell in the second half where I thought,
Hmm.
we're sort of losing a wee bit of control here. Millwall kept getting in, passing it about, and then as
Yeah,
soon as Farker made the subs, he took Somerville off. I think he took Nanto off. It just sort of calmed down again, and
yeah,
we just got a bit more control back.
yeah.
But at one point, for about 5 minutes, Millwall were sort of, pushing, so they were,
But
and
but
you were sort of. But apart
football
from
isn't
that, as
played in
you
5
say,
minutes, is it?
yeah, no, definitely not. And as you said, it didn't really feel like we're gonna lose anyway. So
I didn't think so. I've been watching Leeds the start of the year, and I honestly, as a Leeds fan, I was telling you before we came on live there that I always worried watching Leeds. My nervous system takes a pattern. Remember we had that record there a couple of years back where it was started off conceding. We always concede 2 goals a game, and I
yeah,
think that's still in the back of my head here. Now I have absolutely no worries whatsoever. Um, we'll talk about the first goal. Let's get into the first goal. Your best mate, your favorite at the moment. Like you and me argue, I always go James and you always go Nanto. Talk me through what you thought of the goal. Now you were at Ellen Road, so talk me through
yeah.
your thoughts. Talk me through the reactions of the crowd. What was the atmosphere like? Because I tell you something now. Before I ask you about the goal, what a goal!
Oh, unbelievable. But Nando can do that there. He can just
I know.
hit it. You know what I mean. And key
Hmm.
moments this year, he has just basically just grabbed the bull by the horns and just went for it.
Took his
Outside the
opportunity.
box. Obviously, it was a couple of flick ons, and then Rudder sort of side footed it up in the air.
Hmm.
To Nanto. Nanto brought it down, but see when he brought it down, he kind of like found his own space. He knocked it, but see when he knocked the ball in front of him, you're thinking he's hit it too far here, but he always finds that knocking it into space, and then just hit it from the outside of the box. Um,
Can I ask you?
crowd
Can
just
I
went
ask you a
mental.
question? Is Nanto? Because I could have sworn Nanto was right-footed, right? Is he right-footed
Yeah,
or left-footed?
I think he's right-footed. So I do, but obviously I haven't looked. He did hit it with the left, so he did.
He hit it with the
But
left. He
no,
fucking smacked it.
uh,
It's a smacking goal. Fuck.
but then
People, people
professional
hit it.
professional footballers now, you should be able to hit it with both your feet.
Not that
It's not
good
like the
though.
old
He hit
days.
that. He hit that to perfection. He hit that to perfection. It was some goal.
Yeah.
Jesus, I was sitting watching that, and I didn't even. It was so good of a goal. I didn't even know how to react to it. I was like, all right, all right, that just happened. Replay that. Oh
See,
Jesus,
see
he
when you
did
look at
too.
it, see when you look at it this year, but he has scored some crucial goals.
and some
So he
crackers.
has.
He can shoot like.
You know, like Bristol City to win us the game, and then obviously yesterday, I know James obviously scored later on. We'll get to that later on, but he sort of opened the door because a lot of teams, if we don't get the first goal, a lot of the teams frustrate us.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
do. They sort
I
of
I thought we played fantastic. What I want to do as well, just regarding the goal there, and obviously we'll get up into the second one. I want to give a shout out. I did mention Firpo, but I want to give a shout out to Kamara as well. I've been very judgmental in Kamara the last couple of games, thinking, hey, his edge. He's just lost his edge. Maybe I was talking to you. Maybe it was because too many games. He's not used
yeah,
to this. He needs a break. International hurry up. But yesterday I thought he was fantastic. I really did. I
yeah,
thought he was back to his normal best where he was going front, back, middle, side, left.
yeah.
It wasn't just kind of one dimensional passing like the last game. I thought he played very well.
See
What you
watching him.
yeah.
He's nice and tidy player. The ball comes to him. He doesn't panic. He sort of feints to go one way, and then he comes the
Mm.
other way. And he
And
played back. He played across. But people always say, "Why are you going back? Why are you going back?" But they're sort of creating gaps. They're moving the team around
yeah,
as
no, I
well.
completely agree. And there was a couple of times he had the ball at his feet and he was doing wee skills and turning players, and just like,
It's the
nice,
feint.
Kamara.
See that feint he does.
Aye.
He's got it in art. He does it. He sort of feints to go one way and then turns.
Goes the other way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Here, very good performance, very good half. Now, what I want to do is have a wee chat about Millwall because most of this happened in the first half. Millwall have a saying or have this kind of stereotypical their players are just dirty scumbags. Am I right in saying that, or did you get that vibe from the way they played football yesterday? Now, you were at the game, obviously. Did you think they set out to just rip Leeds apart? Um,
I think a lot of teams this year, now are gonna play the way sort of Huddersfield played. If they know they can't get the win, it's just in the nature to do it.
yeah, but they were really bad. Like
Yeah,
your man Cooper should have been sent off the first half. There was a couple
yeah.
like we touched base on it. I want to talk about because you didn't see it. You were at the game. You didn't know what happened. So just for obviously the viewers using or watching, I'll talk you through what my thoughts are on it. Down the wing, their left midfield when Nanto fell over and Cooper sat on top of him. Now you didn't know what happened. You were saying you don't know. You were at the game. You were at the big tier.
I was
Uh,
I was actually up in the east stand upper, so I was
mhm.
sort of facing it over the far side, so I
Yeah,
couldn't actually see, and because there's no screen in the ground, I
yeah.
couldn't actually see the replay, so I haven't actually,
Seen it right.
yeah,
So my thoughts on it is the two of them went down onto the ground like a sack of potatoes, right? But Cooper landed on top of Nanto. Now Nanto tried to get up, but Cooper just sat on top of him. So Nanto getting frustrated, wanting to get back up into the game. And when Nanto finally got Cooper off him because he threw him over, Cooper put his hand around him and gave him a wee hug. And the more Nanto tried to get up, the more Cooper was holding on to him. And the linesman was literally not even a foot away from him, watching this and hearing this. Watch like that close. And the referee came over. The referee put his hand around the linesman and said, "What happened, Lino?" And the both of them got booked. I'm baffled. I am
I
baffled. That would frustrate the shit out of me trying to get up and play football, and someone's just holding me to the ground. I would lose my head.
see
So
watching it yesterday.
mhm,
I actually thought the referee was an absolute shambles.
garbage. The
I did.
referee was garbage. Like, do you remember the one with Rudder threw one on one with the keeper and then the wallop to the face? Now
Yeah,
he wasn't watching the ball, but he knew Rudder was there and he still swung a hand. To
yeah,
me, that's another yellow card. Any other game in England, raising your hand to someone's face like that, straight through and goal, is a booking.
yeah. I want to ask you about the
Mm-hmm.
penalty. What do you thought of it?
Do you mean the head injury, but we'll play on
Yeah,
until the ball goes out of
yeah,
play? That
yeah.
one, forget about the. It was a foul.
So
It was a clear blow. It was a
basically,
foul.
basically what I seen was, obviously he went down with a head injury. Referee played
Hmm.
on, and I thought he's going to stop here. He's going to stop, and he kept it going, kept the play going. And I got to the
Hmm.
corner, and I was thinking, flip me, they've got a corner out of this. And then in my mind, I was thinking, Millwall are good at set pieces. You know, what are the odds in them, scoring now, especially with us having to defend the corner with one man less. And then as soon as the ball came into the box, it must have been sort of in his head going, flip, I've messed up here. I'm going to have to blow for anything. And he literally just blew the whistle straight away. So I
He
don't know
lost it.
what he blew for, but, I think he sort of leveled it out thinking, flip, this ground's going to go absolutely mental if a goal goes in here. How
But
am I
my
going to get out of
argument,
the car park?
yeah, but my argument on top of that, rather you think that's a penalty or not a penalty, he went down it with a head injury. Is that
Yeah.
instantly stop the
Instantly,
ball?
yeah, stop the ball. And then after it's drop ball. That's the way
Right.
it should have been.
So we can argue black and blue all day, every day, penalty or no penalty. The fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
it's a head injury. The player went down. The game should have stopped.
Yeah.
So
Referee should
why
have
did?
stopped it straight away.
So why
So he
didn't it?
should have.
This is why the referee, in my opinion, lost that game. How
Yeah.
they you we man? What do you call the guy from Honeyman?
Honeyman, George Honeyman.
Honeyman used to play for Sunderland.
Yeah.
He, in my opinion, should have had a couple of yellow cards as well. He was ripping the shit. See the couple he put on Furpo had it, and he
Yeah.
kept leaving the leg in. It was just a dirty game. Like, it really was. Is that everybody's option now? Is just come to Ellen Road and just kick the shit out of the players? It ain't going to get you nowhere. Is it because they know that the refs are so goddamn shit that they're not going to blow their whistle?
Well, the problem is in the championship, because obviously there's no VAR, we've already
Good.
talked about this. You
Hmm.
know, a lot of teams now are going to chance their arm. I can get away with a swinging elbow, I can get away with a hand in the face. I can get
Hmm.
away with poking somebody and getting them, their reaction. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The teams are going to do it. It's
but it shouldn't
unless the
be.
linesman or the referee says it, they're going to get away with it.
Yeah, but my argument is, even if the referee doesn't see it as a linesman, not right there to kind of say, listen, he just smacked him in the face, or listen,
Yeah,
ref, that's a head injury, or listen, ref, he's been shot in the face, stop the game. I I mean, do they not communicate? What's this wee speaker in their mouth? I thought they all communicated to say, listen, I'm here for your support.
yeah. I think if it's 100% genuine, I think the linesman will be in his ear going, "You've messed up there." Although they say it doesn't go on, it does go on.
Of course, it goes
So it
on.
does.
It needed to get into halftime because I personally think the referee lost control of the game up
Oh,
until
he
the
did.
halftime.
Yeah,
Hundred
he did.
percent. He
Don't get
was
me
very
wrong.
frustrated.
Don't get me wrong. It is a hard job. Refereeing that kind of atmosphere, especially with the two club sets of fans, and I know it's not a derby. It's sort of treated as kind of a derby, and I
Mm.
do think if you're a referee, it is going to be a hard job. But I just think yesterday he was just either blind or just plain stupid.
I'm honestly putting it down to just plain stupid, or the old saying, "Everybody hates Leeds, refs and all." I'm going to give as much as I possibly can to the other team. Now I'm just nitpicking. I'm just being a shit, but I do think the referee had an absolute shit game. I'm very this season. I've been very just let the referees do what they're doing in the championship. I like it because it just lets the flow go. Like, as I always said to you, there's calls for us and calls against us that even themselves out over the season, like handball with West Brom. That was a clear handball. We cracked up. We went on about it. We move on. But then we get the Bamford handball goal. So to me, that's evened itself out. So
Yeah,
in the championship without VAR, it does generally even itself out. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah,
yeah.
you know. So they're going to bring VAR into the championship eventually anyway. It's inevitable, but the longer they don't, the better. That's my opinion. Anyway, moving on from the referee, he was shit. We've got our point there. Second half came along. I think we were very dominant in the game. I think we didn't even come out of second gear. My opinion is, I think Leeds are so good at the moment that they know what's the old saying? It's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. We don't need to go full gear here and burn ourselves out because we've got control of the game. If we need to step it up, we'll step it up. We'll step up the gear. We'll push for that goal. I think we're on autopilot at the minute, and we're ready
Yeah.
just to pounce if
I
we
just
need
want to
to.
I just want to touch on something, that you're saying about autopilot. The likes of Daniel Farker. If you look at his record on
Hmm.
in the seasons he's been in the championship,
Hmm.
from January onwards, it is like autopilot. It's just with his teams, and he's
Yeah,
doing the same at Leeds at the minute. It's turn of the year comes. That's it. Bang.
it's
Win, 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 win,
still,
win, win.
it still baffles me that we're the only team in England to concede 0 goals on open play.
Yeah,
I've never heard of the likes of
it's
this.
it's a good record to have. If you
It's
look,
a
even
scary
yesterday,
record.
if you look, when Millwall did get in, and they had their chance, Ampadu was sort of there to make the block, or Roden was there to make the block. They were just like two bloody stone walls.
I
So
love, I, lo-
nothing's getting
I
past them.
love the, I love the fact that every time 90 minutes comes on, Rodon looks like a UFC fighter. The minute,
He,
black
he
eyes,
almost,
sliced
I,
eyebrows, butt
he
lip.
almost has that Terry Butcher sort of bandage look about him, doesn't he?
I love that
So
though.
he does.
I love the fact that he comes off and he's just mangled.
Just battered, yeah.
He's just mangled. And I keep
I
on.
that's He literally see if somebody's swinging their boot, he will literally put the head in, and
Yeah.
he'll take the ball and he won't care about a boot in the face. That's
Here,
the kind of that's what you want. You
I
want
loved
players like
his
that there.
Yeah, I loved his reaction. Yes, just to go back on the stupid line. Do you remember when they cleared it out and the ball went out for throwing, and it was as clear as day, right 2 feet from the ref, that their player kicked it out for throwing, and they give Millwall the throw, and Rodon's like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
He wasn't too happy, like he wasn't.
The blind could see that was a throw into Leeds, and he's too. Oh God, don't. We're not going back in the. We're not going back in the ref. Sorry. Anyway, so they made the 5 subs because the 5 subs that they made was the players who all got booked. And let's be honest, they were going to get red cards if they kept up what they were doing. They were garbage. They were scumbags.
Yeah.
And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, Millwall fans. So James came on, my best mate. I absolutely love James. You know
It was
that.
inevitable.
Talk
It's
me through the
always
goal. What did you?
it's always Nando for James or James for Nando. So it
I know.
is.
But listen, Farka, we're not going to question Farka. Not a goddamn
No,
chance are
definitely
we
not.
fucking. No.
No.
Anyway, talk me through the goal, because my opinion watching it at house, it came through to James. I got up, went for a shit, went downstairs, had a cup of tea, made some dinner, came up, played about 3 hours of the Xbox, turned the match back on, and then he shot. That's how long that goal felt.
Well, it
I ju-
all came down again from the left hand side. You
I
had
know.
Firpo, Anthony, Bamford, Rudder all involved in the goal, and then obviously Rudder used his strength. Round the corner. I don't know how he
Yeah.
does it. He literally the ball's stuck to his feet. It just
And he's
doesn't.
so
You think
frustrated.
like see watching it yesterday, I actually thought the ball was going to roll out for a goal kick. I thought he'd lost control of it, and somehow he just digs it out. And not only that, there, but see to pick James out from where he was. The weight of the ball, everything on it, and James just basically sat everybody down and tapped it in. But the best part about that goal was, do you remember years ago? You probably have never scored a goal like this, where you take on the whole team. You get the goal line. There's nobody standing on the goal line, and you just crouch down on your hands and knees and just
And
head it
header it
in.
in. I've never
That's
scored a goal in
that's
my life, mate.
that's that's the kind of goal. That is the kind of goal. James. Although it was with his foot, it literally
Yeah.
just sat everybody down, just made fools of them, and just goes, "You know
You
what? Now's the time to
you
score
play
this."
you play football with me. I'm a goalkeeper. You've seen me use my feet. There's no way in hell I've ever scored a goal in my life. It doesn't work. It doesn't work,
But
mate.
no, it was absolute quality.
It's just
Fair play to
fucking
him.
brilliant. Here,
Fair play.
thoughts on this? We always talk about Somerville or Nanto or Somerville or James. See, yesterday I did think Somerville played very, very well, but maybe, what about playing Nanto and James?
Nando and James. Well, Nando, when he came to Leeds, did he not play on the left?
He
I'm
did.
pretty sure.
Where Gary
He
Monk's
played
tactic
against.
was, yeah,
He
Gary
played
Monk's
against.
tactics was use are all shit, just kick it up to Nanto at the left.
Well, what do you call it? Aston Villa. He was playing on the left that night when Gary
Mhm.
Neville absolutely. I thought he was going to go onto the pitch and
Make love.
I start hugging him. The way he was talking about him, but he was
Gary
he was
Neville
on the left that
complimenting the
night.
Leeds player? Doubt it.
So he was. He was on the left that night.
Yeah.
obviously Neville said, the way his movement, the way he stands, everything as a winger, he's got,
Hmm.
and he was on the left that night. So who knows? I just think you've two different options on two different sides. You've Anthony and
Hmm.
Somerville, and then you have Nando and James, for the other side,
Do you know what's
which
funny? Do you know what's funny? Sorry to interrupt you. See, when it comes to Nanto and James, the way you're talking,
yeah,
it's funny though because United for Scum, James played on the left as well.
yeah,
So he came from the left. They can't both play, but
yeah.
James scored a lot of his
I
goals
think
by cutting in and smacking it.
Yeah, I think a couple of times this year as well, the wingers have sort of swapped sides.
Yeah.
You see them, and you're like, Flip Summerall's on the right, what's
Hmm.
going on,
Hmm.
So Farkas
It's like,
obviously went, switch it over for
yeah,
10 minutes, see how it goes,
yeah,
But I would say obviously they could, but the way it's
yeah,
working at the minute is you've two right, two on the right, two on the left, and it's a nice option to have.
yeah. I love the fact as well. Even though I'm complimenting Firpo earlier on, I did notice Firpo was playing a couple of times at right midfield and going, "Why are you up at right midfield, you lunatic? Get back to left back, you absolute nut job."
He does love a wonder, doesn't he? Like, so he
Fucking
does.
hate.
But
And you know
see
what's funny?
if
He
he's
got
doing
his
the
foul in the
business,
centre midfield as well. He fouled in the
yeah.
centre midfield. What are you doing in the centre midfield to give away a foul? You tit? Anyway,
But
that's
as I
me.
said, if he's doing the business, he can go where he wants.
Well,
so long
that's
as
it.
he's
If we're
standing,
winning, don't
so long as he's
don't change it.
standing where, so long as he's standing where he's needed at the time when he is needed,
Yeah.
and we keep this not conceding. I'd be happy enough.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Let's talk about Mr. Wonder Kid here. The future's bright. The future's grey.
Archie,
Oh my god, that kid he's scaring me. I want him to
yeah.
calm down. Like, Archie, stop playing so good, mate. People are gonna come in and buy you. Play shit for the rest of the season, mate, will you? Just so we can keep you. He's so goddamn good.
He's versatile as well. He can play right back. Obviously, we've seen him play a wee bit left back, and then obviously his main position centre mid. But the only reason, as I said, before, him not being in the centre mid is because Kamara and Grave have just been that good. I think once
Yeah.
that position opens up for him, he will be in the centre of the pitch. And hopefully for many years to come at Leeds. But you never know with football, so you don't.
It sucks, doesn't it?
It's
It sucks that football doesn't have loyalty.
yeah,
Do you remember, like you go back in history? I know I'm going off topic here, but I remember watching the likes of Leeds and all their players from the great Don Revie side, even when I'm growing up, hardcore Leeds through and through. They spent all
yeah.
like one of my legend
You're looking
heroes
at
is
you're looking at their appearances and you're going like 700 appearances, 500, 600 appearances, and you're like, flip me, 20-year spells. The likes of Eddie Gray, I think he was two spells, or was it Larmer? Two spells.
no Larmer to two spells.
Aye. Do
Gray
you know what
played
I
his
mean?
whole career for Leeds.
Yeah. Larmer two spells, I think he went to America and came back, and helped us in the 80s.
Hmm.
But you look at that and you think, flip me, but like it doesn't now testimonials, a player testimonial, you look at it, very rarely they happen anymore,
It's
because the
happening.
money's so big,
It's happening with
you
us.
know. Yeah, well,
Liam Cooper.
Liam Cooper, but how many Lucas Radaby's probably he would probably be the last one,
No, no.
doesn't
Gary Kelly.
well I will get Gary Kelly, Lucas Radaby, it
Hmm.
doesn't. Well, Radaby was after, was he not? Radaby was
No.
2006 or
Gary Kelly stayed longer than definitely stayed longer
2004.
than yeah. I
I think
remember
I think
because
Kelly's testimonial was it not in like 2002? Radaby's was 2004, so it was. So,
I think they postponed it, but definitely I think
so
did
Radaby's
Rugby
was
not retire
after.
before? Either
Radaby's
or,
was
who
after.
cares? All we're saying is Leeds have loyal players. Fuck everyone
Yeah,
else.
it's not very often. Even the word testimonial is not used very often anymore.
Because
So
nobody
it's not.
sticks around. The money's too great. Like
Yeah,
the one I did think was Calvin Phillips. I thought when he rejected a move to the Premier League with Aston Villa instead with Leeds in the Championship, I thought, now here's a boy who's gonna bite the gun and just stick with Leeds through his whole career, and then see you later. Bye. Well, it turned out well.
he sort
Grass
of
is definitely not greener on the other side for him.
he had to go, but
I
it's
know.
City
I'm
come
not
in.
blaming
You
him.
have a chance of winning the treble. Champions League. You're not
Money
gonna
for life.
troubling your wages. You're not gonna turn it down. It's
I
one of
know.
them
No,
things.
I do get that. I do get that. I appreciate that, and he did stick around. But that was the one player I thought he might actually stick around here and get the 10 years. Other than that, we're stuck with Liam Cooper. Not that I mind that. I actually am a big fan of Liam Cooper. I think it's just his age and his legs are a wee bit gone, but Cooper's never done us wrong. He has bad games,
Yeah,
so does everybody. I generally don't have a bad word to say about Cooper.
I
I love
just
the fact that he does put side before self every single time, and I love the fact in the change room last year he went, "You don't want to be here, fuck off." End the story.
yeah.
Love that. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, just while you're on the subject,
Hmm.
the Bielsa boys, with Cooper. What about Luke Ayling yesterday in the Luke Ayling?
In the look, do you know what's funny though? I bet you he had to be very, very careful. He plays from.
He's
He's a
standing with a
Middles.
pint in his hand behind the
I
bar.
I
It's
know, but he's
real.
also got caught singing "Marching On Together" and singing with all the Leeds players.
Aye,
I'm thinking, mate, you
yeah.
play for Middlesbrough here. Like, do it at the end
Aye.
of the
I thought it
season.
was
At
yeah.
the end of the season,
I
mate.
thought
But
it was I just thought it was absolutely brilliant, him coming back, having a wee drink with the fans, coming back and, he's always sort of welcome around Leeds, especially
yeah,
what he
seeing
done,
he was
you know.
with his Mrs. Poppy. Is Poppy his
Yeah.
wife's called, isn't it? Poppy. So what we'll do? Obviously, we've talked about the game. I'm happy enough with that. Anything to add about the game?
I'm just glad we got the 3 points, and we're sort of,
Hmm.
especially with Ipswich. Obviously, we'll talk about that a wee bit later on. Winning
Hmm.
six, putting six. I was a wee bit nervous going in, obviously, because Ipswich have won 6-0, and you're sort of thinking, flip if we drop points here. One slip up at this stage could be it.
I know,
You just don't know.
but
People are saying, oh, teams will slip up, but if you slip up first, you're
yeah.
playing the waiting game
But can I
to get
ask you a
back in.
question on top of that? Let me ask you a question on top of that. You're talking about Ipswich winning 6-0. Who cares? They're on
Yeah,
full
it's
gear.
pretty.
We're not.
Yeah. It's 3 points at the end of the day, for a
Yeah,
win. You don't get any more for 6-0. But what I'm
yeah,
trying to say or make the point of 6-0, how many times does that happen in the season where a team beats another team 6-0?
yeah.
You only have to look at it when you're coming into the game.
Okay.
That was my only worry, but obviously Leeds delivered. We got the three
I
points,
because
just like
again,
Ipswich.
I think Ipswich went guns blazing to make a point. I think they tired themselves out thinking we lost the last game. Just go guns blazing to make a point here. Leeds don't have to. Leeds are cruising at the minute. They don't need to do that extra gear to burn themselves out. We're in cruise control. We're doing what we need to do. I guarantee you, if Leeds needed to win 4-0 yesterday to go top of the league, they would have went guns blazing and got the 4 goals. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I think we're fine. Here on that, who was your man of the match yesterday?
Oh, it has to be Ethan Ampadu.
Not Rudder.
No.
Why?
Ampadu for me, just he was just a stone wall at the back. Obviously, you can say Rodon as well, and him and but I just thought Ampadu was just brilliant. So he
Yeah,
was.
actually, I actually personally,
Rudder got the 2 assists, but for my opinion, I thought Ampadu. But
mm,
people will probably argue and say that the right decision was Rudder, but I'm not going against that. So I'm not.
yeah. No, I have to do Rudder Nanto maybe. But speaking of Rudder, top assist now in the championship.
Yep, I do believe so. Two. You got two yesterday, 2 assists
So
yesterday.
yesterday
It was
puts
him.
him top with 15 assists for the season. Yeah, behind our
Yeah,
actually player Lewis Davis.
Leeds Davis.
Lewis Davis. He's
Yeah.
on 14. We're flying, flying. And do you think now? Here's a question for you because this is a two-way streak. But do you think maybe international breaks a good or bad thing for us since we're on a run?
Well, for tiredness, obviously the last break we had, where we had a week in between, was a good break. It got everybody sort
Mhm.
of got them on the training pitch, chatting away. But then a lot of them go away with, their countries. That we have quite a lot of Welsh players. So I mean, you can't
All,
really say
all
they're
of them.
getting a break. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
but
can't
all
really
our
say
players
they're
are going.
getting a break. So
Cresswell's away. Yeah,
yeah, Cooper's away.
Cresswell's
Cooper's not
away.
sort of in the
Kamara's
team anymore.
away. Graves away.
Yeah. So
Cooper is
it's
away to
not really a
Scotland. Yeah,
rest. Yeah, it's not really a rest period. It's more.
for
So
us.
they will be
Yeah,
playing games.
I know.
So sometimes you think,
Hmm.
you sort of think of rustiness, when you're not playing, you can't get obviously in training, the way it is with the matches, playing the matches, but they're
Hmm.
out
Yeah,
playing, for their countries anyway. So, it's
yeah.
a lot of them. The good thing is we have a lot of Welsh players that play together, at Leeds, and then they're going away and playing for their country as well. So you're not really breaking that sort of, bond. So you're not, so,
Which is good.
they're all sort of,
Yeah,
but
leaving and
I
coming
just,
back together.
yeah. I
So
think it has came at the right time, but just right for the Easter running, which we'll probably, we'll talk about in the
we're going to
next
talk
couple of
about that
minutes or so.
now. Actually, to be honest, I
Yeah,
was just about to say, coming back of the international
yeah,
break will be the Easter run. What's your thoughts? Talk me through your thoughts of the Easter break, because I know we had a wee chat before about
yeah,
times. Talk
yeah.
me through your thoughts.
Right, so basically, I was looking at the fixtures, and obviously Leicester play first on both games. They play at 12:30.
Yep.
Away at Bristol
Hmm.
City, which is not going to be easy. On Good Friday at 12:30. Ipswich have Blackburn away at 5:30, and then obviously we play Watford. At 8 o'clock. So
Yeah.
we're playing last. I personally would rather play first. But and
Yeah.
get hopefully get the points, and then put the
As
pressure
we
on the
always
other
say, get
teams.
the point. Get
Yeah,
points is better than games in hand.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
we're playing last on both games, and then on Easter Monday, you have Leicester v Norwich at 12:30. Norwich are obviously on that unbelievable run. You don't want to be playing Norwich at this time of the season. So you don't. They're really good form. That's at 12:30. Ipswich Southampton is going to be. It's going to be a massive game. I think if
Yeah.
Southampton lose that, I think they're out of the race. You know, I just think it's too big of a gap to sort of make up. It's at 5:30, and then obviously we play Hull at 8 o'clock at home. We don't want to keep our home record, but it's kind of weird because we all play away on Good Friday, and then we all play at home on Easter Monday. All three. Usually
It's
sometimes one's playing away, two are playing at home. But it's just weird the way all the fixtures are sort of,
anything this year in
you
the
know,
championship is weird. Whoever thought between the top three at point of the season will be a point in it? Like, let's be honest, these are
yeah,
three teams that are so far goddamn ahead of everybody else, and between the
yeah,
three of us, nobody's dropping
yeah.
off or
I
nobody's. It's
actually Yeah, I got myself into a bit of a debate with somebody on Facebook over, an Ipswich fan saying it's remarkable. Ipswich have kept the pace with all these parachute payment teams. These parachute payment teams should be so far ahead. And I said, well, hold on a minute. If you break it down, all four teams are averaging 2 points a game or over 2 points a game. Very rarely in any season do you get more than that there, to pull clear. So
Mhm.
what do they want? They want us to win every single game. You know, because we've got parachute money. It just,
Yeah,
you know what I
pretty
mean? It,
much.
it, it baffles me. So it does,
I
the
know.
people are actually being lazy and lazy research instead of doing their research and working out. It's down to the fact that Ipswich have been good. I'm not saying that there. And did I think they would make it to the final quarter? No, absolutely
No,
not. But
I definitely
they're
didn't. I
there.
thought they would. They did slip off, but I didn't think when I thought they'd slip off. I thought that would be them and slipping off like bit by bit, the occasional win. But
Yeah.
they're just not going away. They're like
No.
a fucking rice. Fair play to
Yeah.
them. No, listen,
Yeah.
as a neutral, as a Leeds fan, I hate it. As a neutral, fair play to him. Like they came up from League
Yeah.
One and they're really proper giving it a go. So absolutely loving that. Like, it just shows
If
you
you
it can be done.
if you look at in history as well, and when teams come up from League One, some of them go on to get promoted back to back. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's not unknown now. Like Southampton done it. I think Wolves done it. Leicester done it. Norwich I think done it as well.
Man
Just
City
back to
have done
back
it.
promotions.
Hmm.
And Ipswich are a big team. They're not a small. Well, they wouldn't be a small club like. They
Hmm.
are a decent club like. So they are.
Yeah,
So
they,
fair
they
play to
are. They
them.
really are. Um, just by keeping up the pace. So that's the Easter weekend. Fun fact that they'll be go 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 go. Crazy fact. Can we go the rest of the season unbeaten, or do we have to go the rest of the season unbeaten?
I think that at this point now, I think a defeat. If you get a defeat, I think you're biting your fingernails. You're hoping, praying that. I do
Hmm.
think we'll go unbeaten at home. Definitely. I think that's
Oh no,
happening.
I called that. I called that from the Leicester game. I says if we beat
Yeah,
Leicester, then we're going to go the rest of the season
yeah.
unbeaten, which we did. But I still do. I still believe. Now, I'm not saying losses, but I do believe that Leeds will drop more points. Leeds cannot go the rest. We're 13 wins, one draw in 2024, not
It's
conceding a
absolutely
goal in open
unbelievable.
play. That that cannot continue. I can't
Yeah,
continue. We have to, like, we don't have to, but you know what I mean? By laws of average of laws, or whatever way you want to put that, there's no way we can go the rest of the season without conceding a goal from open play. From Christmas Day till the end of the season, 0 goals. It's going to happen. It's I still think Hull is going to take something from us, rather be a point at home. I do believe, if anything, that's where it's going to hit us.
I think the two games, as I said before, that worry me is away at Coventry and away at
Mm-hmm.
Middlesbrough. They're the two for me that I panic a wee
Mm-hmm.
bit about.
No,
Middlesbrough's
fair enough.
seen, well, it's more seen by them as a derby game, whereas,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really, a derby game, but they treat it as a derby game. And as you said before, every team plays Leeds, they want to beat Leeds. But I just
Yeah.
think Middlesbrough, more than anybody will want, especially at the Riverside, they will make it as hostile as they can. And I think Coventry, I don't really going away to Coventry. It's not going to be an easy game. But then they might have their minds on the FA Cup. So who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I know Leeds are winning the league. All I know is Leeds are top of the league. 17 points. Screw that. We're top of the league. I still
Yeah,
think somebody's miscounted somewhere, because you can't go from 1st of January, 17 points behind Leicester to ahead of them by goal difference. Somebody's miscounted. I don't know
I
how to
just think
explain it. Like,
I just think Leicester just completely fell off a cliff. I really do. I know Leeds have been brilliant, like 12 out of 13. If you look at that
unbelievable.
there, right, and somebody says to you, this is what you need to do to win the league here. You need to win your last, I don't know, 18 games, whatever it is, to win the league. You're looking at it going, there's absolutely no chance. And you're looking at
No,
the run we're on and you're going, flip me. Where did that come from? But then, as I said earlier, Farkas teams from January onwards, it just seemed it's WWWW, D WWWW, you just don't see a loss in there.
www dot www dot. So what we'll do, we'll leave it there. That was a nice wee chat. I enjoyed that one, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit more better because we're top of the league. We're literally top of the. I know
Wow.
Leicester have a game in hand, but again, as we always say, we'd rather have the points in the bag than games in hand. Leicester have to win that game in their hand. Who knows? Who knows? And it's
Yeah, I
against
was just
Southampton, so it's not easy.
Yeah, I just want to say, yesterday morning, flying over, I flew into Manchester, and I think it was
Oh my
me
god!
and 1 hour, 2 hour Leeds fans on the flight. The whole flight was just jammed with Man United fans, and you're
Was it?
just
Oh
you're just sitting
Jesus,
there,
yeah.
you're just sitting there listening to the conversation, and one of them's talking about Spurs, oh, we're near Spurs slipped up yesterday, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, years ago, like, you listen, thinking about Spurs. Spurs were sort
Mm.
of down the bottom, so they were. But that just
Spurs
shows
are a
you
good side. I
how
like
much
Spurs.
how much
Um,
they fell, down. But
I know.
and
And
then
then
obviously
yeah, crap.
flying back, buzzing. All the Leeds fans on the flight coming back. It was like the old days. So it was.
I loved it. I should have went, but
When
unfortunately, I chose
when
wife.
I when I used to go and when we are in League One, you maybe saw one or two, coming back, but
Hmm.
football's good now. Everybody, all the fans are in good spirit, and it's a great time anyway. So
Good
it is.
time. I love being a Leeds fan. That's why I want to stay in the Championship. I know it's bittersweet when you go into the Premier League. That's where the big dogs are. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I like winning. I'd rather win than fight relegation every week and concede 3 or 4 goals. It's soul destroying, not only for me as a fan, but I'm sure for the players as well. I like what we're doing now. It's fantastic, and Farka we
the
trust.
problem
So I'm not changing a damn thing.
the
Um,
problem
what
is
were we going to say? Sorry.
the problem is with the Premier League. You need the Premier League money. You need the Premier League money to develop the
I know.
ground. Put
I
it
know.
into the academy. The likes of the what they call it, the training ground, doing getting it all up. You can't the biggest problem is staying in the championship. You can't do that. You know what is it? I think it's like 4 million a season. I don't know what the new TV deal is. It's like 4 million a season for championship TV rights, and then for Premier League, you're talking what 200 million. You know, it's a massive jump. You
I
know,
know.
we
No,
get back
I
in the
get it.
Premier League, we get the ground done up. You know, the likes of the West End get all the facilities. We could probably make an extra 5-6 million a season. You know, just from doing that there. You know, on ticket sales and obviously hospitality and stuff like that there. So you need to be back in the Premier League. So you do, but I
I
do
know.
take your point. I do know what you mean. I love the championship, and you know I'll still sort of if we go up, well we will go up,
If
but
how dare you?
I'll still watch championship football like
If
so.
how rude. But on that one, folks, we're going to call it a night there. Absolutely pleasure viewing in, whether you're doing it live with us, and thank you for joining live. But if you're watching it on repeat, honestly, give us a wee email. It's in down there. We'll try and get you on. Obviously, we're still building. It's a small channel, bit by bit, day by day. I want to get on to we'll be doing a show during the week, or a bit of different from since international break. We've got a lot of time to talk about. We've got a lot of time to talk about and add and do new things. So we'll get a couple of discussions going, try and get users involved as well. But all in that there, peace out. Listen, absolutely top of the league, absolutely buzzing the hell. 8 games to go, mate, and counting. We got this. We got this. Say is.